Hello and welcome, beloveds, to the Dr. Mumbi Show. My name is Dr. MumbiSeraki. How you doing? How's everything going? I really do pray that you are well in all your ways and that you're moving into living life truly on your own terms. We want to thank everyone that supports us both on our Patreon and our PayPal accounts and enables us to continue to bring you all the relevant and awakening news from the African continent, just to show you, and sometimes just some interesting stories that many people may not cover or that mainstream media has covered. And this particular story I want to share today has been covered by Western media. They love to show us in this light. Now, allegedly, more than 200 half-naked inmates have escaped from a jail in Uganda last week, and Uganda's military and security forces are pursuing them. They have said to have, escaped into like a major forest or a mountainous region, and it's one of the biggest jailbreaks ever. And what happened is, because in Uganda, I think they're saying the prison uniforms are like yellow or a bright color or something. A lot of the inmates actually stripped naked as they ran into the forest, the mountains, etc., etc. Three of the escapees from the prison in the remote town of Moroto, which is about 286 kilometers from Kampala, have been killed, and 7 were detained. There was some fire that was exchanged, and a senior military officer who was also killed in an exchange of fire. Because what happened is, these inmates, they're saying about 219 escaped, and as they were escaping, they actually broke into like an arms, I guess, where the arms and ammunition depot or where they were being kept, and they stole several, like a dozen rifles, etc., etc. And the prisoners made their escape after breaking into the armory, as I said, and the prison actually holds 620 people. The army is said to be in pursuit, according to the spokeswoman, Brigadier Flavia Biekwaso, who said, they removed all their uniforms because the yellow color was giving them away. These are warriors. They are used to the bush. They know how to run, and they know the area and the terrain very well. And what they're saying is that these were former cattle rustlers, people who are stealing other people's cattle, and hardened criminals. But 200 plus criminals just escape just like that. This could even trigger a revolution. You know what I mean? If they are aligned, if they're recruited by certain elements in Ugandan society. Just saying, allegedly, possibly. So they say, the pursuit is going on, but of course these are warriors. They're on their home ground. They know all the tactics about the army: scattering, hiding, stripping naked, and the like. That's what the Flavia, Brigadier Flavia, the spokesperson, said. She also said that, among the escapees were prisoners considered dangerous and jailed for involvement in deadly armed cattle raids across Karamoja, which is an impoverished region bordering South Sudan and Kenya. Damn. And the incident is Uganda's third prison escape since the coronavirus outbreak began in March. In other cases, fears of contracting the virus in cramped jails spurred inmates to break out. Wow. It's like that thing of like the horse that's attached to the tree, and then even if you keep the rope on the horse and you remove it from the tree, it will still think it's attached to the tree. That's that kind of mentality. So all of a sudden, because of coronavirus, all these prisoners are breaking out. And they said, the total number of inmates in Uganda actually rose 10% to about 65,000 people in 5 months to August, according to the prison service. A surge which has been attributed to a large number of people apprehended for violations related to anti-coronavirus measures, such as breaking curfews, not wearing a mask, being caught, crossing the border, like the famous, I think she's called Dr. Nyanza or something like that. She was caught crossing the border into Kenya and then crossing back when the border was supposed to be closed. But this is Africa. If you need to move, you'll still move. It doesn't matter whether they say the borders are closed or not. But yeah, majority, at least 10%, 6,500 people just jailed just because of a coronavirus related, crimes, if you want to call that, or breaking restrictions. And this is a very, it's very disturbing trend, because it shows you how in Africa there's, now people are starting to question across the African continent, like, were we played with this coronavirus? Because people don't have food to feed their families. The economies have totally been crushed. They haven't planted the food for the next season, and in all of that confusion, the government was also still stealing the coronavirus fund. So a lot of people, even African scientists, have come and said, could we be dealing with a mild flu that has been blown out of proportion because of the overhyping by the media and the government for financial gain? Anyway, there's a really interesting story, article I've actually posted on our Patreon account related to this. It's really eye-opening, where an African scientist actually says just that. So go ahead and consider joining our Patreon family and take a look at that article if you're already part of our family. But yeah. Third prison break in Uganda, 200 plus inmates escape and then strip naked and disappear into a mountainous forest. I swear, they'll make a movie out of this, I bet you. Anyway, let me know what you think about this story. Until next time, tuko pamoja. Hello and welcome to Africa Watch on the Dr. Mumbi Show. My name is Dr. MumbiSeraki. How you doing? How's everything going? I pray you're well in all your ways and that you are living your best life. Thanks to every single person that has subscribed to the channel. You guys are absolutely amazing and awesome. Thanks to everyone that supports us through our PayPal and our Patreon. Go ahead and consider joining our Patreon family as well, or supporting us through our PayPal account. Really, really appreciate each and every one of you. Now, a lot of news coming out of Africa, but this one I just had to highlight because it seriously seems like President Museveni, I don't know what's happening in Uganda, but when you get these stories, it just makes us look crazy because, everyone thinks Africa is a country and not a continent. Maybe it should be. But, Bobby Wine, the leading opposition leader in Uganda, has actually been charged in a court of law with, quote unquote, annoying the president. I'm not making this up. Like, I'm being serious. Like, that's a charge, like annoying the president. Now, he's actually currently facing treason charges, which could see him get up to life in prison for allegedly stoning a vehicle that was part of President Museveni's entourage. But now there's a new cyber law that that the government is now using to kind of protect detractors and protect people who are speaking out against the president. But more importantly, it's just like they're using it to please Museveni, because and he really should speak out against this because he's looking crazy and ridiculous. This law is actually, it's part of I think it's the 2011 cyber law that came into act, and it said that it basically gave people in power a loophole to jail people who were offending them, who were opposing them. And recently we've seen a lot of this happening in Uganda, and Bobby Wine has not been saved. You imagine you're charged for annoying the president. How crazy is that? Now, Bobby Wine is actually 37 years old. He actually announced that he was going to challenge Museveni in 2021 if he makes it, and if Museveni makes it to 2021. I don't know why people always think, they think so hard, far into the future. We don't know. Stories for the days. He said he's going to challenge Museveni on behalf of the people, more like on behalf of the Western, shareholders. But let me leave that, because guys catch so many feelings when I talk about it. Now, he's also facing charges in another court for meeting his fans to protest against social media tax and mobile money tax.